today, Chelsea's remaining targets and aims are Diogo Costa. Actually, you know what? I might as well show it to you so you guys can read along. You might as well. Here it is. Diogo Costa, Lewis Hall, Adam Wharton, and Alex Scott or Bruno G. Enzo Fernandez to depart to make way for both Wharton and Scott or Bruno. If not, it will just be Wharton. But Chelsea want Enzo gone as much as he's been looking for a way out. Arsenal still have first priority on Bruno, as his first choice has always been Arsenal. Alonso really wants Wharton though. No movement on Pep Chavarria, even while he wants to move. Lewis Hall has United and Chelsea as options. Alonso's request was to build a new spine, which is what we've needed for 4 years. Take priority now. Why? Because we've spent close to 250 million now. So we need to sell. That's just the reality. We need to sell. And we will sell. Like I say, Disasi, for sale. Badiashile, for sale. Could be off to Napoli. Tosin, probably be on his way. If we were to get someone in. If not, he's just probably going to play a leadership role in the dressing room. Fofana, demoted. But even then, Enzo Fernandez. And again, word on the street, yeah, what I've heard, is that Chelsea want him gone. Chelsea are not happy with him, Chelsea want him gone. As much as he wants out, Chelsea want him out too. But they're not going to just go, okay, we'll bend over and sell him for 70 million. No. They still want 120. However, if we manage to get a deal done elsewhere for his replacement, Chelsea might be willing to bring that number a little bit down, just to get the player gone. Say for 100, 110. Yeah, cool, all right, we'll do a deal. That's word on the street, right? 2 midfielders will come in if Enzo Fernandez goes. If not, it's just Adam Wharton. Adam Wharton is Alonso's choice as well. Alonso wants him. Again, word on the street. And why? It's like I said in there. Alonso's request was he wants a new spine. Now, please, not just me, but I think a lot of the other guys too. How many times have we all said over 4 years, we bloody need a spine? How many times? How many times? Now, we could end up with a spine. Let me put it out for you. Diogo Costa, right? Cole Lacroix in defence. Caicedo Wharton, yeah? Cole Palmer, João Pedro. We finally get a flipping spine. Finally. It only took 4 years, but we got there. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah. That's what's going on now. The recent development today, and the interesting one, right? Actually, let me clarify the Bruno stuff, because Bruno looks like it's Arsenal. And why? It's very easy. Bruno always wanted Arsenal first, but he wants to leave Newcastle primarily. And if Arsenal were not going to fulfil their side of the deal here and actually get the money paid that Newcastle want, then he was still going to consider his future to go elsewhere. And Chelsea were there ready, waiting to pay if necessary. But everything's on hold. We're waiting for Arsenal, right? And why? Because if we go in and we put a bid in, it's going to force Arsenal's hand to just go, okay, screw it, just add 10 mil, we'll get it done then. You know, we don't want to do that. We want it to collapse. But the thing is, Arsenal, as of today, it looks like they've finally hit that magical number 8, like I've been saying for flipping ages now. The number for Bruno is 85 million. As of today, apparently Arsenal have offered an £80 million package, right? They're only 5 million off. If you're only 5 million off, let's be honest, the deal's going to get done. So Bruno G now, as of the writing of this, which was earlier on this afternoon, you can remove Bruno G and just leave Alex Scott. Adam Wharton is the one Alonso wants. Alex Scott is going to be the option because he really wants Chelsea, and Alonso does like him. However, he can only be brought in if we do let Enzo Fernandez go. So that's what's going on. Lewis Hall is an interesting one to keep an eye on. All right? I'll give you an additional piece of detail to this word on the street that I just showed you with another word on the street as of this evening.
But can you give us any update on that?
So Danny Welbeck will fly out to Hong Kong. That deal is all done. It's a 2-year contract. And from Brighton's perspective, they were willing to allow him to go. Of course, there's an undisclosed fee in all of this too, but ultimately they weren't going to stand in his way. And Jordan Henderson to Chelsea, not quite as advanced as Danny Welbeck, to the point where we can say official, but the player took step one, which was to terminate his contract at Brentford. This was a really classy gesture driven by the Brentford owner, Matthew Benham, when when Henderson joined, there was an understanding as he headed into the final year of his contract that if he got the right opportunity and he wanted to leave Brentford, they wouldn't stand in his way. And even though in this inflated market, as per Brighton and Wellbeck, Brentford probably could have got a fee, they were prepared to keep their word, even though it was a gentleman's agreement rather than an actual formal clause. So Henderson is now a free agent. Chelsea, the favourites to complete the deal. Henderson has already said yes on terms on a 2-year contract. And my feeling is within the next 24 to perhaps 72 hours, that one will be formalised as well.
Ben, Liverpool fans have been patiently waiting for some big business. It looks like they are potentially ready to bid for Bradley Barcola from PSG. What's the latest on that?
Yeah, they will bid, and it won't be anywhere near.
A story which has been fought in the courts and appealed. Chelsea's Mudri is clear to return to football. He'd been serving an anti-doping ban. The FA have just announced the news with this statement. It's a lengthy statement, but let's just try and tease out the key details for you. So the FA can confirm that the anti-doping disciplinary proceedings against Mudri were resolved with the agreement of WADA, that's the World Anti-Doping Agency, yesterday. In the context of that agreement, Mr. Mudri has accepted his commission of anti-doping rule violations, they're known as ADRVs, and accepted a period of ineligibility. So the history of this, on the 22nd of October 2024, he was subject to an out-of-competition doping protocol which revealed the presence of a low concentration of meldonium. Meldonium is a prohibited substance. Then on the 23rd of May 2025, the FA then charged Mudri with ADRVs, anti-doping rule violations, in breach of regulations 3 and 4 of its 2024 anti-doping regulations. Then moving forward to 7th to 9th of January 2026, this year, a hearing took place before an independent regulatory commission, and the regulatory commission found that Mudri had committed the charged ADRVs and imposed a 4-year period of ineligibility. That was from January this year. But the story doesn't end there because it was appealed. So Mudri filed an appeal with the Court of Arbitration for Sport. Is the highest.
From the first images, the message is clear. This is not a quiet announcement. There's confidence in the silhouette, detail in the finishing, and a modern edge that feels built for the spotlight. Chelsea's unveiling frames LaCroix is more than a label. It's positioned as an event, a statement, and a new chapter in look and identity. Design highlights. Let's talk about what makes this release stand out. The design language feels intentional. Clean lines where it counts, elevated textures where attention should land, and balanced proportions that look sharp up close and even sharper from a distance. You can feel the craftsmanship in the way everything sits together, the rhythm of the elements, the controlled contrast, and the overall structure that keeps the look from feeling busy. It's the kind of piece that looks premium without trying too hard, and that's exactly the point. This isn't just about aesthetics. When a club or brand unveils something like this, it's about presence, who they're aiming to be and how they want people to remember the season. Chelsea's choice of LaCroix gives a sense of refinement, ambition, and direction.